Joe,
Making me delete stuff from my
ma-
search history,
making you delete what, Joe?
so I gotta see that stuff.
Hey, we're only like 60 seconds late, Joe, but that's all for a good cause because if Joe needs a cold brew, then we wait, right, Joe? We wait.
Yes, yes, that's what we do.
What's up, John? What do you know on this Tuesday evening?
Autocorrect. I hate you, autocorrect.
What? Do I got every? Okay, timer's going, tunes are going. I assume everything is the way it should be. My volume's off, and we're live. So it's the pre-show,
Doing
Joe. There's three of us. There's a whopping three in here for the pre-show. Yeah, John, I feel lonely too. What's up, Ken? John L., what is up, y'all? Welcome.
I got a big surprise, guys, for Travis tonight. So stick around. He has not watched this video.
I'm kind of scared. Is this
yeah,
something
you
that I
be
should have
scared.
had? Is this something that I should have had?
Actually, I was thinking your wife should have probably watched it, and then she could have told you, give you the no go. You know,
I mean, how bad? How bad can it be?
It's not that bad.
Okay. Well, Joe,
It's all in good fun.
Joe sends me a last minute video or two just about every week, and the one he sends me late in the day today, he tells me in the subject of the email, "Do not watch."
In capital letters.
In capital letters, and you know if somebody puts something in all capital letters, they mean business. So apparently, Joe means business.
Stick around, fanboys, because it's going to be a good one.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! I have not seen it. I'm not one of those followers, Joe, or kind of the yes man, where I always do everything exactly like I'm told. But this time, Joe, for you, only for you, I did not watch it. I
appreciate that.
I did have to. I didn't listen, but I did have to play it for just a second to make sure the audio levels were correct, and we're gonna bust everybody's eardrums when we got rocking and rolling. So,
all right,
tempting. Cool. It was, kid. It was tempting because I was just like one little touch away from the play button, and I could have watched it, and Joe would have been none the wiser. But
I would have been pissed.
Yeah, he would have been pissed, and you don't want to piss Joe off. He'll go outside and start cursing at the moon, right, Joe?
Yeah. Because one of the what's it called? Hot takes, hot topics.
Hot takes.
I'm already thinking about one.
Joe's got two hot takes tonight. Two. And Joe, I'm gonna have to jump on board with you for hot take number 2 because I couldn't agree more on that.
Yes.
Like when I saw that picture. I mean, aside from the driver of all of those cars, I was almost slightly offended because I would never do something so asinine. I mean, absolutely ridiculous.
Well, enough said. We'll wait.
We'll wait. Hey, y'all, we got a mere minute and 31 seconds left in the pre-scalp. We've lost a few people, Joe. Those must have been those dorks that come in. And we're expecting to get every single one of their lawn tips about how to fix this and fix that and do this and do that in their lawns, all in the first 5 seconds of a podcast.
Or they thought this was a video about abandoned lawns and you're trying to get content out there. Or 10% off Hydroteen or,
It's like, whatever. It's like, you mean you didn't just vomit out every single lawn thing you could in the first 90 seconds? You guys suck. I'm out of here. Is Travis going to be triggered and insult the elderly again tonight? I don't insult the elderly. Do I, Joe? Do I?
No, I mean, every once in a while we throw a little shade at
people. I throw shade at the idiots in my generation too. So I'm an equal opportunity ball buster. Like I'm gonna bust your balls whether you're 85 or 25. Although some age groups have more material to go after. Yes. Hey, look. if you're one of the elderly ones and you can handle it, that's why you're here on Tuesday nights. That's why you're here. 7 seconds, Joe. 7 seconds. Oh, wait.
Oh.
Here we go. I think I was looking at the actual live stream.
Live.
And that's, I'm slacking, but here we go, Joe. Guess what? It's another Tuesday night, and that can only mean one thing. It is time for the Budget Wooder Show, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Central, every Tuesday night here on the Budget Lounge channel. Y'all, I think we're starting, Joe. I think we are actually starting to kind of find our niche a bit, you could say, with the folks that tune in with us every Tuesday night. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I definitely think. I mean, if you don't know us already, we're not 100%. Grass is not our life, like some of those people out there. Not naming any names, but Doc. You know,
well, that's not his life. Scamming people's his life, Joe.
yeah, it's true. But yeah, I mean, hey, you guys know us. We shoot the shit. We tell it like it is. Especially me, I tell it like it is, for the most part. Yeah, no, I think we are. I think we're finally finding our niche.
Should I say we're finding our niche, or folks are finding their niche here? Because
yeah, a little bit of both.
And you know what? We're going to get to some of our friends' posts tonight. And I'm telling you, every week, these friends appreciation posts, people sending us their pictures of their lawns. You can send it to mybudgetlawn@gmail.com. That goes to me or to Joe at Wooderboy Productions on Instagram. You send us your pictures. We show them here on the show. And Joe, when I see some of these pictures coming in, I feel like I finally found my people. Like, I finally found my people. People that just, yeah, they just want to have a freaking nice lawn. And if it doesn't look like Augusta National, they're not going to cry about it. And I'm seeing lawns come in for each week shows that I can actually look at and relate to. Do you feel that way?
No, I do. I mean, like I said earlier in the year, I mean, my lawn is not by all means perfect, and it's bounced back, and it's just, I'm not going to go out there every day and say, oh my God, it's changing, or I see something in the lawn. Like, I'm just going to walk out my door, look at it, admire it a little bit, and just keep going on. Life moves on. Like I said to you earlier today, life is short to worry about grass. I mean, I told Travis earlier today that a lady that I work with, her brother, 55 years old, goes in the hospital, really no symptoms at all, goes in the hospital, 2 weeks later dies of some sort of leukemia. It's called AML, and it just shows you 55-year-old guys seem very healthy. Life's short to worry about grass, and it really is the truth. And then that's what I've really focused on this year, is worry about my kids and playing in the pool and things like that. And if I don't cut the grass on a day that I'm supposed to cut the grass, or if I don't follow the three, what is it called, the one-third
rule,
God forbid, kind of thing. And
you're a rule breaker.
Life moves on, so yeah. Anyway,
Joe, that's tough. Joe told me that before we came on live, and that's tough. I mean, it really does make you think. It's like what Joe and I kind of have our pre-scout to the pre-scout before we jump on with you guys at 7:55 for the official pre-scout, but we kind of just catch up on what's been going on over the last week since the last show, and kind of to piggyback on what Joe just said. I'm spending time out in the lawn. And aside from this weekly live stream that we do here together, I'm doing just what Joe's doing. I'm trying to soak up all these last few days of summer break before school starts back up with the kids. And I mean, to be honest with you, if it weren't for this live stream, I've been kind of unmotivated to do anything on YouTube. This is fun to do this every week, but sometimes making the videos, it becomes work. And when you tackle that with lawn care and tack on work that's about to start back up, it gets tough to balance everything. So finding that sweet spot is like key in all of this. Oh man, Finding a symptom that or a cure to all these allergies would also be
Should we
beneficial as
talk
well.
about
Joe, what's our history deal tonight?
so our history tonight, I got two ones. Back in 1921, John Glenn became the first astronaut to orbit the Earth, completing 3 orbits. Again, it was
What year?
not 19. Why does it say 1921?
That's fixing to say. Ooh.
1961.
Okay, that sounds a little more reasonable.
The other one I have back in 1927. I'm assuming that date is correct. Is American baseball player Ty Cobb collected his 4,000th career hit.
Nice, the old baseball history. I mean, don't stay on sports too long, Joe.
No, I'm not. Well, I was going to say whether we landed on the moon or not. Congratulations to John Glenn.
Oh, there you go. Hey, Glenn's my middle name, so yeah. Not that that has anything to do with really anything, but just little fun tidbit of information as you're sharing some. All right, so here we go. I'm looking at the chat, Joe. There's 15 people in there. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button already, please do that. Share the times, the days, the deets about the Budget Wooder Show every Tuesday, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 Central with your friends, and let's pump these numbers up a little bit. These are rookie league, Joe. These are rookie league. I guess we haven't hit the lawn care content soon enough. We're getting there. Speaking of lawn care content, Joe, the 15th of July is when I, for better or for worse, that's still really undetermined. That's when I decided that, hell, I don't mind being on camera. I've got pretty thick skin and I like messing around on my lawn. Why don't I start a YouTube channel? And man, 4 years ago, July 15th is when Budget Lawns took flight. And I'm going to be honest. We talked off the top of the show about how we were kind of finding our little groove here. We're in our lane, so to speak. And I'm gonna be honest, the ways I have been kind of bitch slapped in the face when it comes to like lawn care and in general and lawn care online, and the seriousness and the amount of money and time and effort people put into it has really blown my mind over the last 4 years. And what I thought was just a way for, my channel mainly attracts male viewers. We have some female viewers, but from what I thought was just a thing that guys did to get out in the lawn, take care of their property, drink a few cold ones, shoot the bull. It's way more than that, apparently. And it's almost turned into like this massive pissing contest amongst predominantly middle-aged to older men. And that's why sometimes I question, was it a good idea 4 years ago to start this channel? Is it something that I'm going to pursue for the long haul? All those questions still not answered, but nonetheless, we're at 4 years, and that's where Joe has surprised me today, because he has thrown something together that I have absolutely no clue what it is, and I guess there's no better time than now, Joe, to watch it right off the bat.
This is my anniversary gift to Travis Glenn Feltner.
Oh, now we're gonna get the Glenn in there.
So,
okay.
We got 23 in the chat. So everyone, make sure you thumbs up this video, share this timestamp out to everybody. Let's roll it, Travis.
4 years ago, in July of 2019, Budget Lawns was born. Is it dead yet? Not quite.
Titanic truly sink?
Oh, whoa, hold on. I blew it, Joe.
Oh, no.
Choose the right lawnmower and why it doesn't have to be a fancy schmancy one.
Look at that lawn.
Hey, look at that. I'm back to doing it that way.
Lawnmower. That's the truth.
Look at that sweat on that
I'm about to
shirt.
cut the grass real fast. When I'm finished, I'm going to really need your input today. So don't go anywhere. Online this time of year, and that is overseeding a Bermuda grass lawn. worked like a
This
charm.
one, you just look like you're
Just
gonna
as
pass
intended,
out.
but I will say, it's all steel, it's all metal, it's heavy. Doing it before Thanksgiving.
Oh, these are my
and I
favorite
get
lawn
that.
videos in the
That was
sweatshirt.
me at one time. Pooped the day before trash day. And
I
I'm
like
still
this one.
kind of in my work clothes, not yard work clothes. Check this
I look like Vince,
Get
the
up.
lawn engineer.
out.
Yeah.
The only guy that does
Using
lawn
the
care
leveling rake
regularly.
or the
in a
drag mat
button-up.
going in all different directions.
We got the
For
drag
as long
mat.
as I have to, until I really don't see much more sand, and I see more grass than I do sand. Holy.
Ooh, that's at the new
We've
crib.
all heard about hydrotank,
This is
you know,
when it
that
all
stuff you spray on the
started with
lawn
the
and
other
it traps the
people.
moisture from the air to help shrubs, perennials, ground covers. Man, look at these steps. Those really turned out awesome. Here on Budget Lawns. And we're bringing some more of the smoke today. Steady here in the low to mid 90s over the last few weeks.
OG
But as-
Travis there.
Look at that, Joe. Thanks, man.
Again, welcome.
See that?
Appreciate you joining.
Thank
me.
you for
Choose
being the
right-
first to keep it simple.
Oh, I didn't read that part. I was trying to get back to the two shot. So thank you for keeping it simple. Was the final message?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for being the first.
Oh, the first.
The very first in YouTube to say, keep it simple.
Joe and I kind of had a little text conversation about this the other day. It's kind of odd, Joe, that all of a sudden it seems like more and more lawn channels are going to the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. It's almost like viewers out there are onto the shenanigans that 99% of lawn YouTubers fall into, of shelling out product and trying to sell stuff. And now all of a sudden, everybody's kind of backpedaling away from that for the most part and going back to the basics. So, hey, thanks, Joe.
Yeah.
Thanks for putting that together. Appreciate that. Hey,
Yeah.
what's up, Scott? What is up, Mr. One? Is that Mr. 100? John, Pat, Ken. Man, lots of y'all chiming in. Hey, appreciate it. Appreciate it, Joe. That was I don't know about the song choice. It's kind of
I was trying to go for I know it's kind of like a graduation.
it makes me think of high school.
Yeah. Whenever I think of looking back at memories or something, I think of that song. Or they always used to play that, or the Rascal Flatts song.
Oh gosh.
I hate that song.
Hey, speaking of songs, Joe, do you think our sponsor for tonight listens to much Rascal Flatts or the all the times that song that we just heard?
I don't know. He's ultra MAGA, so I don't know.
Yeah, we got a sponsor tonight. Hey, if you didn't know, we have a sponsor every week, and we
This is
don't
a big one.
look.
He might be worth the most money out of all of them, probably.
Look, y'all
Maybe.
don't realize we're not a couple chumps here from Jersey and Arkansas. We're big dogs, okay? Look, we're big dogs. You want to run with the big dogs, you hang out here. You want to run with little wiener dogs, you go somewhere else. And tonight's sponsor, well, I don't know if he's so much of a big dog anymore, but he was. He was, Joe, a big one.
Yeah, hey, she's Kanye West, y'all. Oh my God.
Is he a redneck from the South like me, Joe?
He's a redneck from the South. Oh my God, that was horrible. I was listening to Jay Farrow do a impression of him before, and it completely came out wrong. But Adidas dropped Yeezy or Kanye. So Kanye decided to create his own brand. He ripped right off the Adidas logo. Obviously, he just changed the color to green. Obviously, right? So his new brand, it's called Lawnsy.
Ooh.
And it's anything and everything that Kanye can think of.
Shoot.
It's not one specific thing. It's just a total whatever's on his mind, whatever he's thinking about at the time. That's the brand.
Joe, I'm sensing a conflict of interest here.
There's going to be some copyright infringement for sure.
Well, no,
both
because
with the logo and the font.
no, I'm talking about my boy Harp,
Oh yeah,
because he was our
yeah, he's
sponsor with the, what was it, the K?
the K K. I don't know what we called it.
I don't know.
Shit.
His K
K-
Swiss lawn kicks.
Quasis, yeah, it was the sneakers. They were
the grass sneakers. So
Yeah.
hey, we'll deal with that when we're behind closed doors. But
Yeah.
yeah, Kanye reached out, and believe it or not, we almost turned him down, but we just couldn't. So we're not. Here's who we're not going to turn down, Joe. We're not going to turn down anyone who sends us pictures to put on the program of their lawn, and we've got 2 tonight. Hey, Joe, I actually got some update pictures this morning that we will put on a show coming up here in the near future. I'll have to send those over to you. But tonight, Joe, we've got 2. This first one is coming in from North Texas. Joe, Mike.
So this is Mike Boyers. Boyers. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce his name. He's on Instagram, so go check him out. That's his handle right there, Mike Boyers. He's got Common Bermuda, North Texas. It was one photo, but hey, it's green, looks thick, it looks good. I mean, hey, that's all you can ask for, right?
This is North Texas, dude. I thoughts and prayers for all of our friends in Texas, Joe. Thoughts and prayers because they're just I don't see, it's hot as hell up here. Heat index around 105. I don't see how you Texas folks are doing it. Never would I move to that state. I won't say anything else. To that state. So stay cool,
Dallas.
Texas friends. Yes. No, this is what I'm talking about, Joe. When I saw this lawn, it's like, my gosh, this is my people right here, okay? This is my people that have a nice lawn that you can obviously tell it's not one of those gung-ho, over-the-top people that like to give me hell all the time, that aren't constantly in this massive dick measuring contest. This is just a beautiful, common Bermuda lawn. That's what I'm talking about right there. Those are the kinds of lawns. I got a feeling lots of our friends in the chat, this is what they're working with. Not saying if you got something nicer that we don't want you here, but this is much respect for this Bermuda grass lawn right here.
Pat, you could screw off.
What do you say? I think Joe's lawn died. All he does is post videos on wood signs.
I'll post a picture of my lawn on Instagram today. Okay, Pat? I was actually going to send Travis an update picture of my lawn this morning, but
yeah, I was wondering where your pictures were, Joe. I've got several in on mine.
Okay, good for you.
Well,
you could screw off, Pat, still, but you know.
Hey, let's get Pat and Joe going. Hey, if you're here,
I think Pat would be a fun guest to have.
Pat, would you come on the show?
Give us come to my house and we could do the show together.
Give us that's what we're talking about. Hey, let's try to get Joe riled up just a little bit. So by the time he gets to his hot takes, his blood pressure's really high. He's really amped up, and then when we do our 5 with 5, we can just bring him crashing down, right, Joe? We'll see the
the 5 tonight is there's gonna be a lot of hate speech in the chat.
Oh, here we go. Let's go on to our next one, Joe. This one I found really interesting, and he sent this to us during the show last week, and I've not seen him in the chat. Hey, Ben, are you out there tonight? Ben sent us a picture of his front yard and his backyard, and something a little funny going on here, Joe.
Ben's a regular in our chat, which we appreciate the regulars, that come back each week. We do appreciate you guys. And I mean, what we're looking at here is, I don't think he said what his, did he say what his lawn is?
He's got Bermuda.
Bermuda. Okay. I mean, look at the backyard compared to the front yard. I mean, that's why I put there Joe's versus the pros, your average Joe's versus the pros. I mean, hey, I'm not knocking the pros because believe me, I don't watch as much pros on YouTube anymore, but I mean, there's pros out there that know how to take care of a lawn. But I mean, I've seen enough in my development where these pros, if you want to call them that, that come out and spray these lawns.
They're just getting a check.
Yeah, they're just getting a check. They're just going out there spraying quick and getting it done. Or they're just spraying it not when they're supposed to be doing it, and I mean, it just, wow. What a difference.
I mean, that backyard looks great. I mean, that
Yeah.
is that is what when I think of a Bermuda grass lawn in my neck of the woods, that's a nice one. That's what I picture in my head. That backyard right
I
there.
wonder where he's located. Do you know where he's located?
I don't. He has the
No.
Ole Miss. Maybe he told me. Maybe I don't want to go searching around through the email. I forwarded that to you and I
Yeah, you
forgot.
did. I didn't see anything in there.
Once
It was very, yeah, I didn't see where it was located or anything, but yeah, maybe irrigation in the back, not the front. I don't know. There could be a more John. That's what John said in the chat. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, it's
or just a simple more attention to detail from the homeowner than the pros that
are coming. You
pull
know,
up in
maybe
front of your house and they're for about 5 seconds. That's it. I mean,
yeah.
it's amazing how little time they'll spend on a lawn. Hey, those are two good looking Bermuda lawns tonight. If you got a good looking Bermuda lawn, hell, if you have a horrible looking lawn, it doesn't even have to be Bermuda. It can be any grass type. Send it to us. We are not here to judge you based on how cool or nice or beautiful our golf course like your lawn is. All we're here to do is kick it once a week for about an hour-ish and shoot the shit about lawn care, other topics, and just all come together because we like being out in our lawn regardless of how it actually looks. Okay, all right. Hey, I do want to send my deepest condolences. We're not going to be able to get to his lawn tonight, but my boy Hart, we'll try to get to your lawn just as soon as possible. Okay? Hang in there. We'll get to you really, really soon. But until then, hey, let's go to my lawn because Joe, it's back, baby. It was not dead. We talked last week a little bit since I got it sodded. I mean, it turned brown. And this is a message for a lot of folks. It was the point in the thumbnail tonight saying it's not dead. Okay? Too often times, many people think that because their grass goes brown in their lawn, that, oh no, it's over with, nuke it, start over, complete renovation, it's dead. Sometimes that might be the case, but for the most part, I'd be willing to bet that, especially in the summer, it's not dead. Whether it's cool season or warm season, Joe can speak to the cool season or warm season, they can both go brown in the summer, and it doesn't mean it's kicked the bucket. It could simply just be going dormant. You've dealt with that before, I'm sure, Joe, right?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have enough time, but I was going to show a before and after pic of my lawn from earlier when we had a really bad, dry spell here in Jersey where we almost got no rain for like a month, it seemed like. And then now we just seem like we're getting rain, like every other day. And I mean, just everything bounces back. I mean, it's just crazy. There's no replacing Mother Nature rain. There's no replacing it. You can water your lawn as much as you want. You can water it, every day. It's just not the same, but it will bounce back. It will.
So I've been paying 99.9999% of my attention has been going into my front yard. The backyard, not necessarily put on the back burner, but just not on the forefront. So I went ahead and threw together some pictures tonight of the front and back for those interested in how the lawn as a whole is looking now that I actually have a whole lawn to take care of. I saw in there, TR Play One, you asked about how the sod planted on top of the sod was coming. Are you referring to the video that I did last summer when I did the project in the backyard? Because I've got an update on that. But if you've seen the pictures that I posted of the sod in the front yard, it went from like green to crusty brown to like super dark, lush green. And Joe, it always gets a little bit worse before it gets better. So this is a picture I took today. I mowed it yesterday. I've been mowing the sod in the front yard every 2 days. And every time I mow it, I take it down just a pinch on the mower, just the slightest bit every time I mow to keep cutting a little bit more off to work my height of cut down. I don't want to take it down all at once. Well, if you know
With
about
the rotary or with the Earthwise?
with a rotary mower.
Okay.
So if you know anything about Bermuda grass, a good chunk of it is brown stalk. Only the top part is green. So you got to mow it really often, taking it down in slow increments. Well, even taking it down in slow increments from as tall as that new sod was, every time I go down a little bit, it gets a little bit browner and a little bit browner. But I've also got all that kind of nasty, dead brown stuff underneath the green from when the sod went from green to brown. So as I'm slowly taking it down, I'm bagging to start picking up some of that nasty material from when it was first laid. And then once I finally get it down to where I want it on the height of cut, I'll start letting it grow back up just a pinch to my cutting height, and all that green will start coming back and the brown will start disappearing. So you look at it now and you go, oh my gosh, it's kind of going backwards. That's just simply from training it to go down a little bit lower, a little bit lower, a little bit lower every time I cut. But overall, very, very pleased with what we've seen out of its bounce back in this super hot weather that we've had. We have had a little bit of rainfall. We had 6 inches of rain last week, just over the course of Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Friday night, and then a surprise thunderstorm rolled through yesterday afternoon. So I really can't complain about that. But there's a side yard there. You can see, I mean, that had gotten up really, 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 really tall. So it's just the nature of the beast trying to take it down. It's going to show a little brown, but that's cool because once we get it down to our manual real mowing height, it'll start greening back up, and that will be where it gets set. So that's the front yard. Someone was asking, Joe, I think they were referring to the project that I did in the backyard last year where I had laid some Bermuda sod. Sorry, guys, my allergies have been killing me. It has just been completely a nightmare for me and my little boy. We both have asthma and really bad allergies, and it's just gotten the best of us. Here's a picture of the backyard, Joe. You want to know what happens when you lay sod on top of sod? Well, it's what's the deal with it? I don't understand, because that's what I did there. I did add a little bit of light layer of topsoil, and I'm talking about just right on the back side of this retaining wall is where I laid sod on top of sod to kind of repair that nasty mess that there was back there. But it's fine. I will say that before we got all that rain, back behind the wall was really starting to get a little bit crispy, because behind a retaining wall you have a French drain that is just nothing but a bunch of drainage gravel. So when I get any kind of irrigation, whether it be rainfall or from the sprinklers, most of that stuff falls down into that drainage rock. So
Man,
it does.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking at your roof. This is really random, but you have a lot of exhaust fans.
So there's a ton on top of the roof.
Yeah, I never seen that many in my life.
Yeah, they line the whole back of the roof. There's tons of them.
Oh my God. Anyway.
But that backside of that retaining wall is really, really hard to keep green, because any water just seeps down into that French drain. So I really have to give it more than an inch of water a week. But with everything going on in the front yard and all the water I've been putting out there on that new sod, I have not even thought about what the backyard looks like. But overall, it really is looking pretty dang nice for getting so little attention. And I want to show you, Joe, what has become my favorite view in my lawn since the front yard got wrapped up. Man, that's one heck of a view from my side yard, looking back through the gate into the backyard where I did the project last year.
That's some solid river rock right there.
I'm telling you, folks, if you think your grass is what's going to make your lawn look cool, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
Yeah, that's some solid. Looks good.
It's the landscaping. It's the landscaping.
The tight edge there, along there too, looks like.
I'm missing a lot of questions in the comment. No, I'm not going to do a how to cut reset this year on my back lawn. I've got it the way I want it right now. It has been such a hard, hot summer with this front yard. I'm putting all of my attention into it. Next year will be like the first year in this house where I have a kind of a typical lawn care season. So this year I'm just kind of on coast mode in the backyard, just making sure everything in the front yard finishes up the way I want it to before September and October rolls around. What do you think, Joe?
It looks good. I mean, I'm I'm waiting to see how it's going to progress in the season. I mean, I know you're probably more towards the peak of your season right now, for the the warm season. So, kind of curious to see how it does. As we teeter off here into August and then into September. So, but I mean, it looks good. I mean, I'm jealous of the Bermuda. I mean, I remember when we went to visit my parents a couple years ago. We were thinking about moving down there to South Carolina, like North Carolina region, and we were looking at houses in Wilmington, North Carolina, and they they're like, yeah, your front lawn will install Bermuda sod. I'm like, really? I was like, well, that's awesome. Like, they're like, they're like, you seem really excited about the Bermuda, and I'm like, yeah, because I was telling them a little bit about it and different things like that, and because like it just looks so great, all these lawns with the Bermuda sod, and it was just like, it's a different way of life down south.
Oh, definitely.
You guys,
Getting some
you guys,
questions. Go
yeah, go
ahead,
ahead.
Joe. Well, let's
No,
get
go
some
ahead.
questions here. Bill's asked how to cut. I plan on keeping the front. For me, on Bermuda grass, I think the sweet spot on Bermuda is somewhere around the 1 inch mark. 1.25, 1.5, not much higher than that, especially if you've got it nice and smooth. I'm going to try and work it down with that Earthwise 7 blade manual reel mower to around an inch, 1.25 inches by the time it's all said and done. I saw a question in there about the cylinder mower, a reel mower. If you tuned in last week, you found out that I finally came to terms with the fact that this yard is not suitable for for power reel mowing. Too many slopes, too many hills, too many walls, just not ideal for using a machine like that. So I had to swallow my pride and unfortunately part ways with the California trimmer. But we'll be manually reel mowing the front, rotary mowing the back. And I know I'm seeing it again in the chat that I should consider a Luba robot mower to cut the great looking landscape. Hey, I appreciate the compliment. But I'm going to tell you, this yard started out as 6,000 square feet. It's probably right now somewhere around 4,000 or just a pinch less after I've had all the landscape areas put in. I can go out there with that rotary mower and cut 4,000 square feet of grass in about 45 minutes or less. I mean,
And we'll talk about the Luba probably in a week or two once I hopefully work out the kinks with
yeah,
the
I'm
company.
interested to hear about that because Joe got one of the Lubas, right? That's what's it called? The Luba.
The Luba, I got the all-wheel drive 1000. It's for about, I forget how many square feet, 10,000 square feet. And let's just say we got some cracks to fill.
Got a few problems to be solved.
Yeah, so we'll talk about it here in maybe a week or two.
Yeah, I want to hear more about that, but it sounds like you want to run the thing a little bit more before we get to
Well,
any,
if
if you
can
could get
run
it running. Is
it. Yeah,
that? Ooh.
if I can get it running.
Hmm.
Teaser.
So so right now I'm telling you, with how much space I've dwindled my actual turf down to, it doesn't take me long to mow it all. And I think that's one of the things that is key in all this to continue enjoying it and it not becoming a hassle or a burden. You got to find a way to make it manageable. And I like the landscaping side of things, planting flowers, trimming, all those kinds of things, deadheading and all that kind of stuff. So when we plant next year, I'll have that to do. And taking care of grass isn't my only show in town. So it looks like we've got someone that has a 5,000 he's never
The
been
five
happy.
thousand, yeah, the 5,000 it covers more area in one charge, I guess. But yeah, yeah, I agree with Super TA. There's just something about you guys know I'm not a big technology person. Like this is the biggest technology that I'll do right here. I sit on this live stream with the camera and my internet doesn't work all the time. So yeah, we'll talk about it. I don't want to talk about it anymore tonight. And Scott Kerr, are you related to Steve Kerr? I want to
Wouldn't
know.
that be something? That's sports, Joe. Sports.
I know. I got
People are going, who the hell is Steve Kerr? Huh? I thought this was. I thought we were going to talk about grass. Look, I don't care whether people's lawns are all grass or if they have landscaping. Scott's asking if he should have plans instead of just all grass. Hey, that's totally up to you. I like the landscaping side. To me, just taking care of a big, vast lawn of only grass and maybe one humongous rock, like just one humongous rock, like this big, huge backyard. Really big, Joe. You know what I'm talking about? Really big backyard and one huge rock back in the corner. If that's what you want to do, that's totally up to you. I enjoy the plant side of it as well, the gardening side of it. It really, to me, makes it more fun and takes a lot of the pressure off the grass being just perfect all the time. Hey, I'm in Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas. Hey, after this last big project, I don't want to look at landscaping for a long time because it's worn me out.
It's work. I mean, when you do, especially moving rock, I mean, it's some work. And I mean, don't get me wrong, that the biggest difference with grass and landscaping is once you get the landscaping done, you really don't got to do much.
If you plant the right plants.
Yeah, I mean, if you're planting the right plants, if you're doing rock, you're not moving the rock again. I mean, if you're doing mulch, maybe you mulch every year, maybe you don't. I don't know. Maybe you use some paint and color to mulch.
I plant stuff that spreads and they're all perennials. And once those things fill in, I might go get a couple yards of mulch every year and just touch up the visible spots. Everything else will be covered.
Yeah.
Okay, Bill, okay, you got it. Ding, 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 ding. But you know, I enjoy the challenge of that kind of stuff as well. Speaking of challenges, Joe, we had 6 inches of rain over the course of 3 nights last week. And the first night we had it, we had kind of been in like a 4-week drought. So everything was super dry, lots of dust. I went outside the next morning and all my topsoil along my neighbor's side of the wall that we had put in so the Bermuda could fill in over it was completely washed out. I mean, completely. And I could not for the life of me figure out how in the heck is all this washed out right here, but nothing is washed out from this point on. And there was a pop-up emitter that had been let to be covered by her grass, but it rained so hard, there was still enough pressure to pop that emitter up, and it seeped out in all of that topsoil and ran down the hillside and washed out all the topsoil, all into my river rock. I had to get all that cleaned up, extended her pipe down another 20 feet to the sidewalk, moved the pop-up emitter. The next 2 nights, we got another 4 inches of rain. No problems whatsoever. So if you haven't thought about the drainage in your lawn, work on your drainage, work on your landscaping, and I promise you, your grass, it'll still be important, but it won't consume you to the max. Right, Joe?
Yeah, no, I agree. I see Scott, you know, he's doing his first home building. And I would say, Scott, if you're building a home, you know, don't be afraid to, you know, go a little over the top and do more than you think. You know, think about the drainage. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos. If you're into landscape lighting, like I have landscape lighting outside. I've seen some videos on TikTok where put, you know, PVC, you know, 3-inch pipes underneath the cement. So it's easier to run wires if you're going to do wires, or if you're going to run a sprinkler system in your yard and you might not do it right away. Think about, you know, putting down piping underneath of concrete, like your driveway or your sidewalks, because it's a lot easier to run pipe that way after the fact. So, good luck to you. It's a lot of headaches. I never built a home, but I've renovated a foreclosure. That's what I live in now. And I don't think I would do that again.
It's tough. I've built 2 homes. It's exciting, demoralizing, frustrating, happy, and sad all at the same time. The only piece of advice I could give you when you first get going, now some people look, we're always going to have people who disagree, and that's the okay part. But don't expect it to be what you envision in your head right away. I mean, it is a process. It is like you got to enjoy the process
Trust
because if you would have seen what mine looked like at the start of spring 2022, we are light years ahead of where we were last year, but we're still so far away from where I want to be. So you kind of have to just relish each little step of progress along the way. Because if you ask me, once I get to that kind of completed point, that's when my interest level kind of goes down a little bit. I enjoy having the projects and fixing this and tidying up that and all the different things that come along with not just the grass, but the landscaping, like you said, Joe. Maybe adding a little bit of mulch, maybe going out and trimming back some shrubs, pruning or deadheading some flowers that flower. So there's always something to be done, and you just got to like enjoy each step of the way. Ooh, built 12 houses. Ooh, dang, that's
Bird
tough.
houses.
Oh, bird houses, Okay, all right. Autocorrect. You tired, Joe?
I am tired. It's been a long.
You don't have your usual.
Yeah, it's been a long week, and we had our youngest son's birthday over the weekend, and it was a pool party, and there was probably about, I don't know, 200 water balloons in the pool.
At your house?
Yeah.
Were you just anxious to the max?
Well, it wasn't that many kids. There was probably like, I don't know, 7, 8 kids, maybe less, and they were just, let's dump the water balloons in the pool. Let's throw the water balloons in the pool. And I had all these water balloons all over the pool. So it was fun. Luckily the rain stopped, thank God, and we had a good time. So it was a long weekend. I've been busy at work. So yeah, we're going down the shore this weekend. So
the Jersey Shore?
To the Jersey Shore.
Oh,
yes.
Lord help us. Hey, Joe, let's go to this.
Yes.
Because if
this will perk me up a little bit.
If you're a grass dork or a grass nerd or whatever you want to see, then you don't even have to like tennis to have much respect for the grass at Wimbledon this past week.
Yeah.
It's all wrapped up now, right? I don't follow tennis.
The final was over Novak. I don't know how you pronounce his last name.
Djokovic. Oh yeah, he got beat. Djokovic.
He got beat. Yeah, by like a 20-year-old or 19-year-old, 20-year-old, something like that. But yeah, I just thought this was really interesting. I saw this on TikTok, and it's crazy how mind-blowing they take care of this grass. So go ahead and play.
Let's listen to this too, because he makes some really interesting points.
Grass at Wimbledon is more mind-blowing than you think. 9 tons of perennial grass seed are used each year. In June, they restrict the amount of water each court receives to ensure the soil is hard enough, allowing for optimal play. In the lead up to the tournament, the grass is cut 3 times a week to keep it at 15mm, but the event is played at 8mm. During the championships, the courts are cut and relined every day, and each night time they are lightly watered to ensure the grass survives. At the end of the summer, 6 tons of soil is placed on each court to ensure they are level. Surprisingly, there are just 15 permanent staff members who take care of the grass. The grass at Wimbledon is more mind-blowing than you think. 9 tons of perennial...
that is freaking crazy. I after watching this, I did confirm that this, it's just not somebody trying to put content out there, and you can actually find this right on Wimbledon's website. They actually lay it out. There's even more detail. There's like a whole page of what they do to the courts, and this was all in there, and it's crazy.
It's bananas.
When I was in England and right before the pandemic, it was like, I think it was 2019 or 2019 when we went over in November, Thanksgiving time. That grass was green as could be then. And I remember this one part we were at, and it's just, I don't know. There's just something different about the grass over there. It's just something. I know like their temperatures are a lot different than ours, and it's very overcast. It's not gloomy and not as sunny as it is I guess during that time of the year probably, but in the summertime it's probably hotter, hot. But yeah, they take their grass seriously. I mean, that's why I kind of brought up the fact of the post that the other thing that I sent you that you'll probably put up here in a second. When these teams come over to us, these English teams that come over to the U.S.,
I got it ready to roll.
they're not playing on no fake grass, guys. They're not playing on that plastic crap. I mean, when these
when they
come
walk
over,
out on, this is something I learned new from Joe. When they walk out on that pitch,
it
it better be pristine turf. Like none of this like fake turf stuff. Joe, this next one didn't have any audio, did it?
No.
Okay.
And it didn't. It wasn't supposed to. So this is actually Tuckahoe Turf Farms. This is in New Jersey. This is in Hamilton, New Jersey. So it's about 30 minutes from me. So it's about 30 minutes between Philadelphia and Atlantic City. And this is actual footage that I took on my drone last summer. Actually, around this time last summer is when I went there to get my grass seed, because they sell out of their grass seed. They use Mountain View grass seed and it will go. And this is actually, you can see the Tahoma 31. You see how big that field is of Tahoma 31 that this guy's mowing. And I just took the drone in, and you can't even he didn't even notice that I had a drone going. But yeah, so Lincoln Financial Field, where the Eagles play, you can see their Tuckahoe Turf. This was from their Twitter page. They're putting down their game day sod, and their game day sod is a little bit different. It's not Bermuda. It's the Mountain View seed, the 365 SS, the bluegrass. So they're putting that down because at the Premier League, they're having some teams. They're having like a summer league thing where they have teams come over and they play tournaments and different things here in the States. And we got 4 games at the Link this weekend, and one of the teams is actually one of my team, Newcastle United. So which is kind of cool. I mean, it's kind of cool to see these Premier League teams. And another thing I didn't throw up there, but MetLife Stadium, where the Giants and the Jets play, we know their field's plastic. I don't know if you want to call it plastic, but it's the artificial turf. It's fake grass. They took that up, and they actually, Tuckahoe shipped up their game day side up there, and they're putting down actual grass because they're having Premier League teams play up there as well over the next week or two. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy that a turf stadium, artificial turf stadium, is taking up their grass and putting down real grass because this is what these teams want to play on. It's just a shame that we can't get our Super Bowl fields.
I knew. Oh, Joe Karma, man, you cut out on me just a second there. Right when you said Super Bowl, the grass.
I was saying that we can't get our Super Bowl fields as nice as these fields,
The grass gatekeepers were like, don't even touch it.
They heard me. The sod father heard me.
The sod father heard you. What really stuck out to me on this, which I think is just mind-boggling after having just laid sod, it'll be 3 weeks this Thursday, which I'm so excited about because I've been watering. I was watering mainly twice a day, watering once a day this week, and then once I hit Thursday, I'm on to every other day, and then the week after, it's normal watering schedule. But it amazes me because their caption says, next weekend. Like, we're laying sod to play soccer games next weekend. And I'm sitting here for 3 weeks going, don't touch it. Don't get on it. Because you're watering it so much and people think, well, you can't get on it because it's not really rooted. Okay, that's one reason why you don't want to walk on your new sod, because until it roots, because you could shift it around. But really, the reason why I don't want to walk all over it is because I've been watering it real heavily. What does a lot of water do to it when there's a nice, fresh, packed layer of topsoil underneath that sod? The more you walk on it, you're just putting foot impressions and you're denting it in all over the lawn the more you walk on it. So when you lay new sod, you don't just want to keep from walking on it until it roots, but you also want to keep from walking on it because it might be a little bit wet, or you don't want to get to the soggy point, but it's definitely going to be a lot softer after all the water you're dumping on it. But that's what amazes me. They're going to put sod down, and then next weekend they're going to play games. Okay.
Yeah.
But
it's crazy.
They know a little bit more about that than your boy.
Some of them know what they're doing.
Some of them. Not Joe. Are you trying to piss people off? Are you trying to piss people off? All right, Joe. Do you want to go to your first hot take?
Yeah, let's do it.
You want to save the other one for next week? The other vidya?
Um, let's do the parking one.
Well, no, I was talking about the Titanic one.
Oh, yeah, we could see that till next week.
All right, we're gonna go to Joe's. We're gonna do both hot takes, Joe, but I want to start with your first one, okay? This one here, we're gonna go in order. Here's Joe's hot take for the week.
So I think this is actually a good hot take for both of us because I think this triggers us the most out of any YouTube related videos, and it's the people that don't like looking into the camera. And I mean, don't get me wrong, we try to do our best on this live stream to, look into the camera, but it's, like if you're going to make a video and you're going to talk, to the camera, you
Joe,
should really look into the camera and, and I don't know. I just figured if you're a content creator, you should, learn to look into the camera because the camera's over here. It's not over there. It's
Joe,
it's over here.
Joe, I'm right here.
Unless you have multiple, cameras, and some of them people do because their production is like so high now. But like I don't know, it just makes me not feel so like it feels like you're not talking to me. It feels
disconnected,
like
right?
you're just making content to put it out there, and like it's not all about you got to connect with the people, because if you're not looking at the camera, I don't know. Like, I don't feel like you don't really care about me, So I think you just.
Joe, why don't you get up, and go take a dump, and just get a long microphone cord and go sit on the john while we talk here on Tuesday nights.
I mean, I could talk to the sign all night, but like the camera's over here and not there. So that's just my biggest pet peeve. And don't get me wrong, I think early on, me and Travis that's over here, I think
I still have to look over because I gotta check and make sure I'm looking at time
the cameras.
codes, I'm looking at.
But like if you angle the camera the right way, and if you do have, and if you have a production team that has the camera, you shouldn't really have to worry about the camera. You should just talk and look at the camera. I don't know.
Joe, look at.
I don't know. What do you think?
Did you completely stole my thunder?
Because, there's the camera. There it is.
Because you weren't looking, so like you were making a joke, and I was making a joke. When I came out of the big picture of your hot take, I was like right up next to the camera, so I was like going, Joe, I'm looking into the camera.
That's my biggest pet peeve when it comes to YouTube.
Oh gosh, that's hideous.
I know it's hard, but it's just try. I mean, especially when you got, I don't know how many followers and subscribers. It's like they're just a number to you, basically.
So Joe and I, when we first started, that was one thing we said, we are going to make sure we look at you, even though we're really not looking at you. I've got live from the Open on right now. British Open is this week. So I'm kind of watching that, and I'm kind of doing this, and I'm kind of doing this. But we try to look at you the most. Speaking of, I got to quit saying that. That's like one of my, speaking of, is kind of like one of my clutch phrases.
25K is a lot of subs, but, it's the people out there that are pushing product, and they're just doing product reviews and just to put content out there for you to buy a product to earn a commission. And don't get me wrong, I understand, and this is where I kind of probably got very jealous early on. It was the people getting all these products and things like that. And don't get jealous of those people, because honestly, a lot of it is just junk. And we'll probably talk about the piece of junk that I got in another 2 weeks or so, or maybe a week or two. And it's that's why I like, that's why I didn't like Travis in the beginning, but after watching his content, I mean, he's talking to you. That's his thing. He calls you his friends. That's why we have this friends appreciation post that we do every week. And that was his idea to call it that. And, he's trying to connect to you. He's not trying to just get something out to you. He replies to your comments. A lot of people out there will not even look at the comments or reply to them. And and so like people like that, if you see creators like that are replying to your comments, then they care. They really do care about what they're putting out there and who they're talking to.
And it takes work. It does. It takes, like when I post a video, I make sure that when I post it, I have a little time set aside so that I can get to those comments, so that I can make those replies and show my appreciation and answer any questions that people have, because,
And at the same time, I
That's why I
contradicted
started
myself
this.
from last week. So
what'd you say last, or what?
I said I kind of contradicting myself from last week when I said I wish if I did it all over again, I wouldn't have looked at the comments because they just triggered me to hate people.
The comments are tough sometimes. You really got to kind of just,
it's hard.
you got to have this spot in your brain that, you filter out the nonsense, because it's really, in the big grand scheme of things, it's a really small fraction. And you just got to remember that there are lots of great people out there, like the ones that are in the chat tonight. And that's why you do it. And screw all the other people, because, well, I do it for a select few of the fanboys that just can't resist chiming in from time to time. And I've warned them over and over that, like, they're the easiest fish to catch. Like, I intentionally do things to get their attention, and it always works. It's however you get your rocks off. That's what I say. And that's part of the fun for me. Joe, this next hot take that you have, I love it when you come in hot with two hot takes, not just one, but two hot takes, is one that I can 100% get behind, because it drives me freaking nuts.
So this happened to me today when I went to the Waltons, the Waltons store. If that's what apparently that's what it's called in Arkansas, or that's where it originally was called. But I cannot stand these people, and there's 4 of them right here.
Oh shoot! Hold on.
There's 4 of them in this picture that they're just all a bunch of a-holes that want to park.
I'm slightly, Joe, I said last week I don't get offended very often or ever, but if you really want to offend me, you make me out to be a backer-inner, because I promise, Joe, I'm not a backer-inner. And for you to put my face and make me look like I'm a backer-inner,
this car
that's
today
offensive.
must have went in and out like 3 times. And I'm just like, pull the fuck in already. Just get into the spot. Like, seriously, just get into the goddamn spot and go to the store. It's gonna.
Now we're getting Joe. We're getting him in now.
I read today that it takes the same amount of time pulling in or pulling out. Well, depending on what you're doing, it could, So I recommend don't pulling out, but it takes the same amount of time to go and get it out of the spot. So, like, just pull into the spot. And I hate to say this. This is going to come off very sexist, and I probably shouldn't say it, but a lot of women, I feel like, do this more than men.
I see the dudes doing it too.
I do see, but for some reason, it's a lot of women though that do it too.
Well, that's a good question. Is there some sort of?
I noticed it at my work. There in our parking lot. I have a lot of women that work at my work, and a lot of them pull in or back in, I should say, and it's just like. If you can,
I think now I would have to double check this. I would have to fact check it, but I think there's a town.
I don't even pull in. I don't even back into my driveway. I just pull in.
Like one of the towns here in Northwest Arkansas made it like passed an ordinance on certain streets that you cannot back in or you will get a ticket, because it disrupted it. So many people were doing it that it was disrupting the flow of traffic on these particular streets. And they said no more. Like, what do you think? The whole world revolves around you in that parking lot to back in?
How is backing in the safe way? I don't get it. Like, a lot. I mean, now obviously there's backup cameras now, but I still don't rely on my backup camera completely.
Ken makes a good point. He backs in for fleeing purposes. I get it.
Yeah.
When you're running out of Walgreens with 6 duffel bags full of cosmetics, you got to get the hell out of there fast. I mean,
But I mean, if there's somebody in front of you that's stopping the car, or either way, you're still gonna run them over, right? So like, I don't like. I don't know.
yeah.
I heard on the radio this week that
Uh,
they're working on flying cars. So
I saw that too. Hey, not to change the subject, but I want to point Alan out. Alan, sorry, I know you're not looking for the spotlight, but I called you out last week too. So it is what it is. You just got to roll with the punches. But Alan is in the chat tonight. Alan is the one who made the sign over my shoulder here. I gave a little back story of that sign last week. You know, he just thought I needed to jazz up the background a little bit. So he took care of that for me. I think it looks awesome. Alan, appreciate it, man.
it looks
And,
great, Alan.
and the cool thing about this is I could take it from here, and if I want to do something out in the garage, it's super light, super transportable. Something really cool too is he gave me a little remote control with it. Now I've got it set on yellow right now because of the white balance of the camera. It actually makes it look more white, but I can set it on orange if I want to go to blue, if I want to go to Joe's favorite color, pink, which it actually kind of does that look more white than the yellow does?
It looks white, yeah.
But I could go to
About
green.
some how about some Razorback red?
But I like let's see, Razorback red looks like that. But I kind of like, so I don't know. What do y'all think? That's yellow, or if we switched it over to pink, which one looks better? The pink looks like it has a little bit of a vibration to it.
Yeah, I like the other one. I'm a warm white kind of guy, so
So you like, I'm a warm white. That kind of goes with the rest of the lighting.
yeah.
It kind of fits the whole vibe. So Alan, hey, thanks for jumping on, dude, and thanks again for the sign. It's pretty awesome. It's unique too. I like it. Got to have every little thing to stand out here, Joe. Joe's got his homemade signs hanging up behind him. I've got a homemade sign that I did not homemade, but Alan did, and I think it gives us the best backdrops on YouTube lawn care live streams. Joe, what do you think? Yellow for the win. Alan agrees. Alan says yellow.
Yeah, I agree. I like the warm white.
Let's see. I saw something else up there. Hey, thanks again, Alan.
Alan, maybe you gotta make me one.
Ben, this is what I was thinking. Ben, where you been? Ben, where you been? We showed your lawn earlier. Yet what you didn't care about seeing?
Yeah,
you didn't care about seeing your lawn.
Where are you from, and what kind of grass? I think we said Bermuda, but I just wanted to confirm.
So let's go back to Ben's lawn so he can see it with his own two eyeballs. There's Ben's lawn. Hey, Ben, by the way, I would fire the dudes that are doing your front lawn. That's right, Memphis.
Elvis is home.
Oh, baby, Graceland. You need to fire the guys up front, which I think you said something you were about to can them anyways. Oh yeah. I mean,
is your lawn irrigated in the front and the back, or just one or the other? Someone had asked that too earlier. Maybe one gets more direct sun than the other. I don't know. But I mean, either way, the back, I mean, looks, no irrigation.
guys,
Either way, it looks great.
I say it all the time. And if a sucker is born every single day, and there are tons of suckers in lawn care on YouTube. But I'm telling you, it's not rocket science to have a nice Bermuda lawn. And I'm not trying to diminish myself or other people that have Bermuda. But as long as you've got some heat during the day and at night, some sunshine, a little bit of water, lots of mowing, and some fertilizer, look, it's kind of like self-sufficient. It's so funny. I go dump some of my waste from my lawn at a place behind me. They let me dump in their compost pile. And last summer, I dumped a bunch of the scraps of sod that I ripped out of the back lawn, Joe. And I was over there recently dumping some more stuff in the compost pile. I should have taken a picture because I offloaded these dried up, crusted up, scrappy pieces of Bermuda. There's this area back there next to the compost pile that is just lush, beautiful Bermuda grass. I mean, it's way overgrown, but that all started from torn out sod in my backyard. No one's taken care of it since. No one's touched it. It was part of the compost pile.
I believe it.
And it's grass. It's amazing.
Yeah, you got weeds growing out of topsoil bags out in Lowe's and in Home Depot. So it's possible.
No, Ben, there was no roasting of your lawn. We roasted the professionals just a little bit, but no, we didn't. We didn't. We didn't roast you. Do you want us to? We sure can. We could find something. But
Ben, your lawn looks like
yeah, no, it looks
poopy.
good. Hey, Alan, send us your pictures. Send me some pictures of your lawn, Alan. Hey, if any of you want to send pictures of the lawn and you've got thick skin and you want us to roast you, let us know. We'll roast you. If you want us to praise you, we'll praise you. We don't really care. mybudgetlawn@gmail.com or Joe at Wooderboy Productions. DM him on Instagram.
Trying to be PG-13, Ben.
You might just be the next one on the show. Hey, Joe, that's hot takes for the night. We had one more video, folks, that we were going to talk about, but we're going to save that for next week because it looks like we've just crossed over the hour mark. And as we wrap up the show every week, we have our 5 with 5 that Joe leaves us on the edge of our seat, and we have no clue what to expect. Is he going to rock like he did last week? Is he going to suck like a vacuum like he has every week before? Joe, it's hard to follow last week, but tell me what you got.
Yeah, I know. So last week we did top 5 summer movies. And again, guys, this is my taste. This is my favorites. So if you don't like them, again, you can screw off.
Go out in the garage and keep backing your car in and out. Go practice your backing in and up.
So tonight we got top 5. I said to Travis last week, top 5 summer movies or top 5 sports movies.
Are you going to sports?
Summer. We're gonna go to sports. I know.
Here, watch the.
I know
the live
everyone's
count
gonna
of
drop
people.
off now.
Watch the live count of people. We're at 32. Remember this, folks. 32 people watching live right now, and Joe just said.
Let's see who's the first one to drop off.
Joe
I think Pat's dropping off.
Joe just said the word sport, and people, I'm sure there are lots of
trigger word. It's a trigger word. There's two.
It's just triggered. Hey, we were joking earlier because within the first 5, in the pre-scalp, we hadn't started talking about lawn care yet, and.
Again, guys, there's more to life than grass. There's sports, there's family, there's music, there's beer, there's boobs, you name it. Jesus.
Ooh, beer's where my antennas went up. All right, top 5 sports movies.
All right, so number 5 is Rudy.
Okay.
I know. A lot of people don't like it because it's not wholly, truly factual, but I think it's a great story. I don't care what anybody says. Vince Vaughn's in it.
It does have the feel.
Jon Favreau. I mean, that's where they started their little collaboration, with Rudy. Number 4. This is a little out of the box.
Alan, that's happening. That's happening, Joe. I've been thinking about that one for a long time.
Okay. Number 4 is a little bit out of the box. A League of Their Own.
It's good.
I think it's a good movie.
It's really good.
It's all those characters, all those celebrities, Tom Hanks,
Madonna.
I honestly,
I could do without Rosie O'Donnell.
I could do without her, but Tom Hanks, I thought he did a great job.
Who's your favorite character? John Lovitz was pretty freaking good.
Yeah, I don't know. Madonna, she looked really good back in the day. I don't know. Nowadays,
she spent some time in the hospital for a bacterial infection. Yeah. I heard she had to get like a shot of Narcan or something
yeah.
There's something more to that story, just like there's something more to the story of the girl that got picked up on the interstate in Alabama. We're going to find out more to that story as well. There's always more to the story. All right, Joe.
All right, number 3. This isn't a very popular movie, but it came out, I don't know how many years ago now, but it's called The Express. It's about Ernie Davis. Dennis Quaid was in the movie. He was the head football coach for Syracuse. I don't know if you guys haven't ever seen this movie, I recommend it. Ernie Davis, he went to Syracuse after Jim Brown went to Syracuse, and Ernie Davis was going to be like the next coming of like Jim Brown in the league. and it's a really good. I never knew this much about Ernie Davis. He unfortunately he got I think it was leukemia, and he died, and he never played it down in the NFL. And he was, like I said, he was like the next coming of Jim Brown.
Dennis
really-
Quaid's in it.
I'm pretty sure it's Dennis Quaid.
Can you believe his brother's Randy Quaid? Aren't they brothers? Cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation.
Is he really?
I think they're brothers. Dennis Quaid was in the movie Frequency with Jim Caviezel. You ever seen that one?
It's Dennis Quaid is the actually Chadwick Boseman is in the movie. He's got like a small role.
He passed away.
At the end. But this kind of leads me into my number 2 is 42, the Jackie Robinson story with Chadwick Boseman. So number 2 on my list is 42. I think it was just a great movie.
Oh, he froze.
A little over the hill when it comes to.
Joe, you there?
Did I break up?
You're getting quite the praise tonight.
Am I there?
You're 3 for 4.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
there.
here. You're here. You're 3 for 4 according to Ben. Alan says you're
All right.
you're
40.
42.
Yeah, 42. So number 1, if you can kind of guess where I live and where I'm close to, you can kind of guess this movie. What's the biggest movie in Philadelphia history when it's related to sports?
I don't know. You tell me.
Come on.
What? I'm not watching you. I'm watching the people, Joe. I'm looking into the lens of the camera.
All right. Sorry. Rocky.
Oh, Rocky.
Rocky.
Oh, duh.
Not Rocky 2, not Rocky 3, not Rocky 4.
Rocky 4 is the only good one.
No, Rocky 1 is, from a cinematic standpoint, like I just think he wrote that himself. Sylvester Stallone, he actually sold the script. He actually had to sell his dog because at the time he couldn't afford anything, and he wanted to be in the film.
The studio wanted to hire somebody else.
I mean,
and he was like, no.
yeah, and I can't picture anybody else doing that movie except for him. I mean, obviously it pretty much created his career. So, but yeah, Rocky is just such a great underdog story, and obviously he doesn't win that in the first one, but it's just still a great movie.
Joe, I wouldn't say that I agree with all those, but here's what I will say that makes your 5 with 5 not as good as last week, but still good. That you didn't come out with the same old stereotypical heavy hitters, like we've all heard a lot of the same best sports movies over and over and over. So you threw out some that were kind of expected, but you also threw out some.
I got some honorable mentions were Dodgeball, the underdog story.
Oh my gosh! You said Dodgeball. I'm thinking Moneyball. Moneyball with Jonah Hill and Brad Pitt.
I can see. I can't stand Brad Pitt.
Hey, I'm not like I wouldn't say I'm a Brad Pitt fan, but that one was pretty freaking good.
It was good. It was okay. I mean, there's some others that we could talk. The Natural is an older one. Bull Durham, Field of Dreams. I think Field of Dreams is a little boring though, but I think it's awesome that the
Major League
plays
2.
there now. Yeah.
Rookie of the Year. All those kids like sports movies.
The Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, that are just terrible, but you watched them all the time when you were a youngster. Oh my.
Well, thanks for
Angels in the Outfield.
Angels in the Outfield. Thanks for hanging in there, guys, and I appreciate Saved by the Bell vibes. Yeah,
you didn't tank us. We didn't tank too bad, Joe. We're down to 27, but we kind of teetered into that 20 to 30 range. So I think people were feeling sorry for us, and they stuck around. To see what was coming up. But Joe, we'll have to go through the comments because there were some good suggestions for the 5 with 5.
If you guys have any if you guys have any suggestions, comment below here or comment on the video once it's published. I mean, again, guys, if there's something that you watch or if you watch us again on the replay, which we highly recommend you try and do if you can, or share it to your friends so they can watch it. Comment on the video. It really does help out the video. So, please do that.
Some people just get it, Joe. Some people just get it. Alan says lawn and sports.
And remember, guys, if you're the one thing that I'm going to talk about today that we talked about earlier, if you ever make a video, make sure you look at the camera because the camera is always in front of you.
Where is it, Joe?
There it is.
Where? Alan says lawns and sports. What's better? Lawn sports and beer. I think that's really the only thing I can that I would tack onto that because it's hard to have one without the other. Okay. All right, that's gonna do it, Joe. I got nothing else.
I'm tired.
You got anything else? You're gonna go straight to bed tonight, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm tired. I'll try and have more energy next week.
Hey, also too, guys, let us know if you're not getting enough lawn talk out of this. Let us know that too. If you're getting too much lawn talk, let us know that as well. That way we could kind of cater and find a sweet balance amongst all the different topics, because Joe and I like to talk about lots of different things, random things. But of course, we know you're here because we all came together in the first place because of grass. Okay. All right, y'all. Joe, you got any parting words this evening?
No, just if you want your lawn on, remember, shoot us an email or DM me on Instagram, Waterboy Productions. mybudgetlawn@gmail.com, and we'll see you all next week.
Yep. Hey, it's the 18th, 25th. Hold on. Ooh, Joe. Next week's the last show of the month.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
If you don't know what
Gonna be a good one, guys.
If you don't know what I'm talking about there, you got to pay more attention. All right, y'all. That's going to wrap it up. We'll be back next Tuesday, 9:00 Eastern Time. 8 Central. Join us early, y'all, for the pre-scalp. It's where we get together and just start bullshooting while we're waiting on people to pop in. We'd love to have you there, too. Hey, but sounds like it's our bedtime. Y'all have a great night, and we'll talk to you real soon. Peace.